Charizard is gone from Terra Raid battles, but not forever, because in a few weeks he's coming back, and in this video I'll be showing you 1. How to effectively solo Charizard raids so you'll never lose again, and 2. How to keep your Charizard raids even after the event. So, we'll start out with how to solo these Charizard raids, because you might think, well, if you're playing with other people, wouldn't that be better to do the raids with? And no, actually, from my testing, it is actually worse to go with other people, because when you're in a raid den, you have the timer at the top. And when someone dies, whenever a physical real player dies in a Terra raid, that timer goes down. And you may have figured it out already, the more real players that are in a Terra raid, the more that timer's going to go down when they die. So if you're in a solo raid, that timer's only going to go down when you die. So it's actually a lot better to do these raids solo than with a group. So, first things first, you're going to want to get yourself a Flutter Mane. Now, Flutter Mane is only exclusive to Scarlet, so if you're a Violet player, you're going to have to trade with someone. There is a trade code that you could use in order to trade for a Flutter Mane. I forgot to trade for another Flutter Mane to train up for this video, and I don't want to connect to the internet for reasons I'll say at the end of the video, but yeah, I won't be training up another Flutter Mane, so we're just gonna have this one. So, you're gonna need to get a Flutter Mane. If you're in Scarlet, it's easy enough. Go to Area 0, get your Flutter Mane. If you're in Violet, trade for one. Again, I'll put the code in the description. And I believe you'll have to trade your Iron Jugulis for that Flutter Mane, which won't be hard enough to get. They're fairly common. So, once you've gotten your Flutter Mane, next you're going to want to level it up to level 100. Just grind your Terra raids, fight Chanseys, use your XL candies, use your large candies, and you'll get this thing to level 100 in no time. I think I got mine to level 100 in like less than an hour of grinding raids. Next is you're going to want to get your covert cloak, which is the item that this Flutter Mane is holding. So to get your covert cloak, you're going to want to go to the north of Levincia. That's where the electric gym leader is. You're just going to want to fly there. And then, once you get to Levincia, you're going to want to go right here. Took a little searching, but it's right here next to the Pokemon Center. So just go in the direction of the Pokemart. Just go this direction, and you'll arrive at this Delibird presence. And you have to go to this one specifically because this is the only one that, for whatever reason, has this covert cloak. So you're going to want to buy this covert cloak. It's a little ways down. Oh, here it is. So you're going to need $20,000 for it, which, I mean, if you're in the end game, $20,000 is probably nothing for you. If $20,000 is a lot for you, I will link a video by, I believe it was Philly Beats You. He put the video out where you could get like a ton of money really quickly. So I'll put that video in the description. But yeah, all you'll need is $20,000 for this covert cloak. Buy that cloak, put it on Flutter Mane. Now you're going to want the covert cloak because it protects against status effects. And Charizard has Fire Blast, which can burn, but we're not really worried about burn because it's a Flutter Mane, it's a special attacker. But we are worried about Confusion, which can take away a turn. And as you'll see, it's not that bad if Flutter Mane does hit itself, but it is just a little bit of a nuisance. So having that covert cloak on the Flutter Mane is definitely a help, just to not get it confused because this Charizard does have Hurricane on it. And also, just so you guys know, I believe none of Charizard's moves that can hit Flutter Mane have 100 accuracy. So you aren't going to be getting hit super often, or at least every single turn. And as you'll see in the actual raid test, you won't be getting hit for a lot of damage either. So, again, wait until I do the raid, and you'll see just how broken this thing is. Now, next step, you're going to want to go to this one right here, Montevera, I think that's what it's called. And you're going to want to go to the Hyper Training guy. Now, luckily, in this game, you only need a level 50 Pokemon in order for it to be Hyper Trained, not level 100. So you could go here first, if you really wanted to. But you're going to talk to this guy, And you're going to want to train it in every single stat except for physical attack, because that's just a waste. Flutter Mane will never, ever, ever use physical attacks, so just don't train it in a physical attack. Now that you've got your IVs set, I'm going to go over which moves to give it. So if you want to go check the summary here, we're going to want Moonblast, which it can learn naturally. We're going to want to give it Calm Mind, which it can learn naturally as well. And Draining Kiss and Fake Tears, which you do have to teach it for TM. For Draining Kiss, you have to, I believe it is Krogunk parts that you have to... No, Draining Kiss is Igglybuff parts. So I think it's 3 or 5 Igglybuff parts that you need for Draining Kiss. And then for Fake Tears, it's 3 or 5 Teddiursa parts. So you have to kill those guys, make the TM, or if you already have the TMs, just teach them to it. So those are the moves. Second is the EV spreads. So we're actually going to go here. Again, so as you can see, I fully spec'd out into special attack and special defense. Because this is what you're going to need. You're going to need your special attack because it's a special attacker, and you're going to need your special defense because Charizard is a special attacker. So maxing out your special defense is really going to help you with taking as little damage from this thing as possible. Now that we've talked about the EV spreads, let's talk about how to get those EVs. So you're going to have to go to the academy here. At least this is where I like to go when I fly to Mesagoza. You can fly to the Pokemon Center too. It doesn't really make a difference. So we're going to want to go to this store here. This is the Chansey Supply. And at the Chansey Supply, we're going to be buying 3 things. We are going to be buying 26 calcium. I already have 268, so I've got that covered. But 26 calcium at 10 EVs and special attack per calcium, that'll grant you your 252 special attack EVs. And then you're going to want to grab yourself 26 zinc. And at, again, 10 EVs for special defense per zinc, that's going to give you your 252. So that is going to give you your max EVs in those stats. You could also buy some, you could buy some HP ups, you could buy some Carbos to just fill out those extra EVs, but they really don't matter. And then you're going to want to go down to the mints, and you're going to want to buy a Modest Mint. Now, this will raise your special attack while lowering your attack, which, like I said in Montevera with the IV training, you don't really care about attack. You only want to maximize your special attack. So make sure to get a Modest Mint and then equip that onto your Flutter Mane, because that's going to make its special attack even higher. Now, after all of this training, level 100, Modest Nature, max IVs, max EVs, your special attack will be hovering around 405. This is just insane. This is one of the best special attackers in the game, and it is the single best Pokemon for this Pterodon. Now that I've shown you the Flutter Mane build that you need and the item and all that, let's go and actually, I already did my 6-star or 7-star raid for today. So I'll be showing you guys how to switch to another date to get another 7-star raid. Because you're going to need to do that if you're going to want to grind this. Because, spoilers, just like 6-star raids, you only get 1 7-star raid per day. So, all you're going to need to do is just press X and open the menu. Go home. Go to Settings. System, Date and Time. And just turn it 1 day forward. And then go back to your game. Now, sometimes it won't update. You'll see where it says main menu, and you close the menu. Speak of the devil. It didn't update. So if you go here, and we look all around the map, these are the same raids as before. So the raids didn't actually update. So in the case of this happening, just do it again. Now that we've switched the date, you'll see there, the megaphone, the Pokemon from the outbreak have disappeared. There are mass outbreaks occurring. That means you've skipped the date properly, and that means the raid dens have been reset. So just open the Y menu, zoom out with the right stick, and just scan the map for that 7-star dragon raid, which will be right here. So I'm going to set that as my destination. Fly over to Glaciato Mountain. And I will see you guys at the raid den. Alright, we're here. So you just go up to the raid den, like usual. You're going to want to take on this daunting task alone. Help has arrived. Now, ironically enough, the NPCs are actually going to be doing most of the legwork in this battle in terms of damage. You're only going to be attacking maybe 3-4 times, maybe 5 times max. But your teammates will be doing most of the legwork here. There's the Charizard. Here are my teammates. Now, you actually don't want fairies on your team. You want things that are not fairy types, because the fairy types are special attackers, and that's gonna kind of put a wrench in your plans, as I'll show you right now. Just so you know, it always uses overheat, and it always resets its own stats at the very beginning. You have a 1 in 4 chance of getting hit. I didn't get hit, so we're kind of lucky. So all we're going to do is just Calm Mind. You always Calm Mind turn 1, but if you do get hit, I think you should Calm Mind and then Heal Cheer to heal yourself up, and then continue using Calm Minds. Now watch this. Look at that damage we just took. After 1 Calm Mind. Now we use the second Calm Mind. Now we're pretty much going to be taking no damage from this Charizard, no matter what. Now that our special defense is substantially buffed, we're going to start using Fake Tears. Now this is going to lower its special defense by 2 stages, and this is why I don't want fairy types on my team, because after a certain amount of damage taken, it'll set up a shield and also reset your stats, which again won't make you lose the battle, it's just kind of an inconvenience. So what I like to do is I like to set up 3 Fake Tears to get its defense minimized, but again, that just isn't an option here. So, what we're going to do here, since we're at about half health, we're going to use Draining Kiss. That did a good amount of damage. That heals us up. It'll always heal us up all the way because Charizard does have 30 times health, since it's a 7-star raid. Look at that damage. Now, energy has begun to accumulate. Now, you might be wondering, why do you want to go for Fake Tears in the beginning and not Calm Mind and just buff up your special defense? Well, it's because when he has the shield up and he's got this crystal, you can't actually lower his stats. So I use just 2 Calm Minds and then 3 Fake Tears in the very beginning, so that I know his special defense is at the minimum before he sets up his shield. But like I just said, I didn't get to use 3 Fake Tears, but that's okay. This battle will just take a little longer. So we're going to use 2 Calm Minds again. And remember, I've only attacked once this battle. He's at less than half health, and I've attacked once. I used 1 Draining Kiss. My partners really have been doing all the legwork for me. Now we're going to be using Moonblast because we're at a high enough health. Now, at around this health, he'll start using Sunny Day, which will actually help you more than him, because your Photosynthesis will raise your special attack because it's your highest stat. And even though he's going to be using Fire Blast, and it's scary because Solar Power plus Sun, it's still not going to pose a threat to you. Just use Draining Kiss, you'll heal up pretty much all the way, you're fine. You shouldn't be worried at any point during this battle about dying. The only time you should be worried about dying is if you're not paying attention. And it just keeps attacking you, or you forget to Draining Kiss, and you like get crit or something. So we have attacked twice. We can Terrastalize. I'm going to Terrastalize and use Moonblast. And this might actually be able to one-shot, or not one-shot, but take out the rest of its health. But since he's at only -4 special defense and not -6, I'm not sure. I might get just past the crystal with this. and it kills. Because Flutter Mane is broken. Oh, and it was a crit. That crit honestly did matter. But as you saw, that time limit was nowhere near finished. And I was nowhere near dead at any point in that battle. I was not worried. And also, Flutter Mane always outspeeds Charizard. So if you're at low health, don't worry, just Drain Kiss. And you'll just heal up all the way. Like, almost guaranteed every single time. Especially if it's at -6 special defense. You're always going to be healing up every time. But just make sure, first 2 turns of the match, double Calm Mind. First 2 turns after he gets the shield up, double Calm Mind. Because when he gets his shield up, he's going to reduce your stat buffs. And also, you saw me, using fake tears. I didn't worry once during that fight that he was going to reset his own stat changes. And that's because, for whatever reason, Charizard doesn't reset his own stat changes after he uses that turn 1 overheat. I don't know why. It's a really, really exploitable weakness. And also, after he shields, he doesn't reset your stat changes. So that's why you double Calm Mind right after he shields, and you have no worries about it. So his lack of resetting stat changes is really, really good in, like, exploiting this and soloing this. Because it just lets you set up like crazy. Now, I want to show you guys, or tell you guys, how to keep this raid after the event ends, because I believe the event is ending on December 18th. Let me look at that real quick. Yeah, so the second run of this Charizard raid is going to go from December 15th to December 18th, but after the 18th, you're done. There is no more Charizard raids. So, if you want to keep grinding this raid, how do you do it? How do you keep grinding this Charizard raid after it's done? And how have I, on December 6th, 2 days, I think, after the raid ended, how am I able to make this guide for you? Well, you see that offline mode? You see the L button on my controller that my finger is over right now? Take your finger off. Do not connect to the internet on the save file you want to keep this raid on. Because if you connect to the internet, and this was true in Sword and Shield as well, you didn't need to collect the wild area news to update the wild area, you just needed to connect to the internet. If you connect to the internet, the raid dens will automatically update to whatever the most up-to-date status of them is. So, only connect to the internet on the save that you want to keep the Charizard raids on during the event. That is even if you intend to go online for whatever reason. I do intend on doing my version exclusive trades during the event, because after that, I'm going to keep my game in offline mode for a while. Because I want to keep grinding these, because, again, these rewards. I have almost 150 XL candies. I have over 500 large candies. I just did the math, and the candies that I have right now, the large and XL candies, they have just over 9 million experience worth of candies. It's actually 9.3 million experience. That's almost enough experience to get a Dragonite from level 1 to level 100. And also, I have 41 rare candies, so you're going to be set for a while. And also, you get a ton of treasure from it. Like I said, over the course of this past, day, I've gotten, $500,000 just from these raids. So, it's not the greatest method to getting treasure, I will admit. The Academy Ace tournament is better, but it's definitely a bonus while you're grinding for these experience candies, especially if you're grinding for competitive, like you're just leveling your Pokemon up so they can learn all their moves. Definitely keep these raids in your save. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this guide on how to solo Charizard raids 100% of the time with no worries, and also how to keep the Charizard raids after the event is over. So if you want to see more guides, just put it in the comments. Let me know what you want me to make a guide on, because I'll see if I can make a guide on it, and if I can, I absolutely will make it, because I honestly really liked making this video. So yeah, just let me know in the comments what you want me to teach you how to do next in these games, and I will see you in the next one.